Hi everyone, and in today's video we will be covering chapter 5 of Sociology, Change and Development in Industrial Society. The topic is home-based work. So home-based work is an important part of the economy because if you see, a huge amount of production happens from people's homes. It is not just that the production is happening in big factories, but most of them also happens in the house of the people, and which keeps many families employed, which includes the manufacture of lace, zari, brocade, carpets, beads, agarbattis, and many such products. So these are the typical items. What is lace? What is zari or brocade? They are basically the decorative textiles. Okay, beads are what? They are hand rolled cigarettes, and these are incense sticks. All of this are labor intensive and they can be made in small places, okay, because this work is labor intensive, and this keeps the families employed. This work is mainly done by women and children. So this is the reality of this sector, where a large share of workers are women, and in some places even children help, which is again informal. And this also shows that there is a gendered division of labor, and the vulnerability side of the reality of this particular sector. An agent provides raw materials and also picks up the finished product. So there is a middle person. This agent is what? This agent is the middle person or the contractor, which is your what? Agent. This agent, what is he doing? He gives the inputs. What are the inputs? Inputs such as thread, tendu leaves, tobacco, perfume powder. So this middleman, this contractor or this agent is providing the inputs, the raw materials, and he's also collecting the finished products. Then he collects the finished products. And home workers, as you see, rarely meet the final company directly. Home workers are paid on piece rate basis depending on the number of pieces they make. So there is no fixed monthly salary which we usually see in the organized sector. Rather, they are paid per piece. So if for example, if the rate is ₹1 per agarbatti, so agarbatti bundle, and you make 300 bundles, so then you are earning how much? 300. And if you fall sick and you make less, so the income drops. So we see high insecurity in this work because it totally depends on you. An example of beedi industry is given over here. Let's just try to understand it. The process of making beedis starts in forested villages, where villagers pluck tendu leaves and sell it to the forest department or a private contractor, who in turn sells it to the forest department. So what does this mean? What is the raw material here? Here the raw material is tendu leaves. Okay. So what is happening? These tendu leaves are collected by the villagers. Village people collect them, and these village people, after collecting them, they sell it directly to the forest department. Okay, directly they're going to sell either to the forest department or to a private buyer. Private buyer will ultimately sell this to the forest department. Okay, on average a person can collect 100 bundles of 50 leaves each a day. So the typical productivity is that there are 5,000 leaves per day. That is what they're collecting, which shows how much manual labor the base of the chain has. The government then auctions the leaves to beedi factory owners, who give it to the contractors. After the collection, forest department auctions the leaves. The beedi companies buy them and pass it to the contractors, which are again the middlemen to manage the production. The contractor in turn supplies tobacco and leaves to home-based workers. So the contractor now is delivering both the inputs, which is your Tendu leaves, and the tobacco to homes. These workers, mostly women, roll the BDs, first dampening the leaves, then cutting them, filling in tobacco evenly, and then tying them with the thread. So what is happening? These are the exact steps given to you how it is made. So first you moisten the leaves so that they smoothly bend without cracking. Then they cut it to the size. Then it is filled evenly with the tobacco, with measured tobacco, and then finally they roll it and tie it and secure it with a thread. So here the skill matters, okay? Because if there's poor rolling, then the piece will get rejected and ultimately will not be paid. The contractor picks up these BDs and sells them to the manufacturer, who roasts them and put on his own brand label. After collection of this, the company does the finishing part. So they are going to roast it to dry and set the shape. Quality check will happen and brand labeling and packaging will happen. The manufacturer then sells them to a distributor, who distributes the packed BDs to a wholesaler, who in turn sells to a neighborhood pan shops. So after this, what happens? That manufacturer will give it to the distributor will give it to the wholesaler, then retailer, which is basically the pan shop, and then the consumer. So one small BD has passed through so many hands, right? Next, if we just understand this part again, so there are forested villages. Okay, there are forested villages. So there are forested villages, and in these forested villages, the Tendu leaf collection happens. Tendu leaves are collected, and these are collected by the villagers. Villagers sell it to the forest department or to the private contractors, who ultimately sell it to the forest department. Forest department auctions. Okay, forest department has received the leaves, so then they are going to auction it to the BD factory owners, and then these owners are going to hand the material to contractors or the middlemen or the agents. Then these contractors are going to supply the leaves as well as tobacco to the home-based workers, which are mostly women. And then the exact 4-step process where they first dampen the leaf, then cut it to side, then fill it with tobacco, then roll it and tie it. And these finished BDs are collected by whom? Again, the contractor sells it to the manufacturer, who basically roasts it, checks the quality, branding, packaging, all of this happens, and finally it is sold to the distributors, from distributors to the wholesalers, and then from the wholesalers to the neighborhood. So this was the entire story of this topic. I hope you were able to understand, and with that is it for this video. Thank you.